So I'm at my desk and I'm doing something that I'm not supposed to be doing. See, instead of studying like I'm meant to be, I'm reading a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And I read through it and I start to get a little bit insecure about myself basically. I was just still busy with my family. I live in a one-story house, so every time one person goes down the hallway, I have to, close the tab and like go into put the book down and pretend I'm studying basically. I become immersed in the book and eventually I'm called in for dinner and I reluctantly put down the book. While reading this book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, I learned something very interesting, and it's just in terms of what like goal you want to approach. Like basically everyone has goals, right? Let's say you want to make a lot of money. What way would you approach it? Let's say you want to like get validation from others and look like a badass guy. What way would you approach it? I'm just gonna be honest about you. You've kind of always thought that you were like the special one. Like not this is already people are gonna click off now because I'm getting offended now. But if you and maybe you're not, but let's say you are one of those people that have kind of thought, okay, well, I'm like slightly like better than average than like everyone else. Just like you're not actually saying this stuff, but like in your head, silently, at the back of your mind, it's there, right? It's like regularly, particularly when you're listening to music, you got a really like cool epic song going on. You like imagine yourself like in a scenario, you're thinking of a scenario in your head where you're like this badass guy, or you're like a fighter or something, or whatever, you're like a machine gun, you're like saving a bunch of people. Like, oh yeah, look at you, it's like a mind of iron. And it's particularly when you're listening to music, because music has kind of all that whole like epic thing, and that like further reinforces it basically. The best way to choose a goal is to decide not what you want the benefits to be, but what you want to suffer through. Because think about it, right? All kind of goals, all kind of like endeavors, right? They lead to the same benefits. If you become a fighter, yeah, if you want to make money, then there are a bunch of different things you can do. Like a bunch of different, let's say you want to start an online business to make money. So for example, there's YouTube, there's agency, there's affiliate marketing, there's like maybe you become like are hired as like a high paying, like you write out scripts for people, or you're a video editor or something, right? They all make a decent amount of money, some a bit more than others, right? So the trick isn't to see what the rewards are, because the rewards are all the same. You're all going to get like, if you get to a high enough level and you stick at it for long enough, you're going to get a lot of money. The question is, what are you willing to suffer for? You like imagine yourself doing something, right? Maybe starting an online business, or more commonly, more probably, you look at like MMA fighters and think, right, I'm gonna be like become an MMA fighter or something. But then you never take action. It's like, bro, everyone wants the fame and the glory. You think you're the only one that wants the money, the fame, the glory? You think you're the only guy who wants to become an MMA fighter because it looks cool and like people like turn their heads when they see you? No. You're not the only guy that wants that. Everyone, like, this might make you feel like a bit like, maybe I'm not like as special as I thought I was. Everyone wants the same thing. Everyone wants to be successful. Everyone wants to be happy. Everyone wants to be healthy. Everyone wants to be popular. So, but not everyone knows what they're willing to go through to achieve that. Because in order to get the good things in life, you don't just like wait for it. Like sit and wait is the most bullshitty advice I've ever heard. How you get the good things in life is you suffer so that you are deserving of the good things. The truth is if you want to do something, and let's say you take action and you start making excuses and then you can't do it. It's none of this like the reason why you didn't continue or you didn't start. It's not this Hollywood, he's just not motivated enough. No, you just didn't want it. You just didn't want it. Well, it is kind of, you just didn't want it. I'm not making it dramatic or anything. I could make it like dramatic Hollywood, like, oh yeah, he just didn't want badly enough, all the motivation, he broke down, but like, I'm not gonna be over dramatic with you. You just didn't want it badly enough. The UFC fighter thing, you didn't want to risk getting a CTE. You didn't want to put in the long hours of getting your face absolutely pounded with your nose bleeding 3 times a week. You didn't want that. So you obviously don't want to become an MMA fighter. And this can be quite hard for you because, again, at the start of the video, you kind of think that you were slightly, at the back of your mind, this isn't to like piss you off even more because you're probably pissed off at me enough already, but this is like at the back of your mind, you kind of still think, oh yeah, well, I'm like slightly better. If you relate now, obviously not everyone watching is going to be like this, but I'm making this video specifically for the guys that thought exactly like my younger self did. And this is the video that's going to help these guys. If you relate to anything I'm saying, I don't think anyone else is going to be speaking to you like this. You can find any other YouTuber and they're not going to be talking to you about this problem. Another thing is, the reason why, this is just an off topic thing, you feel so embarrassed and insecure all the time, you feel like people are talking about you, is you feel like you are the special one. No one gives a fuck. I have like a whole video on like how to not be embarrassed. It's basically just a video, just if you like getting berated, it's just a video on me. What's the word? Telling you to stop being a pussy, basically. So what you have to do is you have to get like your goals, whatever you may be, and find out what suffering are you willing to go through to achieve those like endeavors. So for starting an online business, you want to make money. What are you willing to suffer through? Are you willing to suffer through the, screaming of your parents yelling at you when you get bad grades because you're neglecting school, and them telling you that what you're doing isn't going to work and it's a waste of time, and you having to get up really early to work, all while no one believes in you? Are you willing to go to practice after practice, going to boxing training, sweaty, tired, getting your nose punched, bloody noses? What are you willing to suffer through? You have to put in the work. You're not as special as you realize. You're not as good as you think you are. You are just like most people. Maybe you have a slight athletic edge. Yeah, you probably are a little bit more intelligent than average if you're watching these kind of videos. I'll be honest. Your IQ is probably around 10 to 15 points higher than the average. I'll give you that if you're watching these type of videos, because to be honest, most guys your age are probably just playing video games or Fortnite right now. And here you are looking at a video on how to choose your goals, which is like even like more big brain than like, okay, there's the level 0, you have Fortnite. Then there's like the next level, which is like, oh yeah, choosing your goals. But then the level you're on, you're like looking at how to choose your goals, which is like even better. So you're at least like you're at least in the 20% smarter than most people. This isn't just like stroke your ego more, but I'm just saying like you're probably smarter than the average person. Alright, so I do a video on how not to be embarrassed and awkward all the time. If you want to watch that, just go onto my channel. This is actually a pretty new channel, so I haven't published that many videos yet. Anyways, thanks for watching.